Hello, my lovelies. Nowadays, Spider-Man has everyone talking about brand new day. And I thought to myself, what better time for us to continue our 21 steps journey with a brand new perspective. So here I am once again, Chandra, your friendly neighborhood tarot advisor, welcoming you back to another step to read tarot in a deeper, richer, and a more meaningful way. Now, today we are going to look at something that many people mistakenly confuse with numerology. And this is not a lesson in numerology. Now, today we are learning to read a card through its number, its ranks, and the keywords that we consciously associate with them. And at first glance, it sounds cut and dry. Numbers? No. Yet in reality, it becomes one of the quickest ways to deepen our understanding without having to memorize another 78 meanings. In fact, it is entirely possible to do a tarot reading using nothing more than the card suits, its numbers, and a few carefully chosen keywords. Now we will explore the suits in our next lesson. Today we are focusing only on the numbers and the quote ranks. I hope you have brought your favorite tarot deck, your journal, and a comfy cushion. If lighting an incense, a cup of tea, or simply creating a quiet little corner such as this helps you settle into your practice, this is wonderful time to do just that, right? Now remember, these videos are not meant to be watched passively. They are meant to be experienced with cards in your hands. Now today's lessons marks an interesting shift in our journey. Up until now, we have learned how to observe the card. We have learned to name it, to describe it, to feel it, and to tell its story. Now, today, for the first time, we are going to look beneath the artwork and discover the invisible framework that supports every card. And I promise you, once you understand this framework, you will never look at tarot in quite the same way again. Now imagine we are sitting across the reading table together. Now you ask me, Chandra, when will I find my next relationship? Now I shuffle the deck and one card appears, the Two of Wands. Now before my attention even reaches the figure standing on the castle wall, before I notice the globe, before I even began reading the symbolism, something much quieter happens. My eyes shift to small one detail, the number 2. The single digit has already started giving me more information. Not the entire reading, not the final answer, but an important layer that quietly begins organizing the rest of the reading. That is exactly what we are going to learn in today's lesson. Now, we are not studying numerology. Now, this is something that I'm reinforcing time and again. We are learning how numbers, ranks, and carefully chosen keywords become one more language through which tarot speaks. Now, one of the ideas that completely transformed my own professional practice came from Mary Kay Greer, work on whose books 21 Ways to Read Tarot I dedicate this series. Now, Mary encourages us to stop treating the numbers printed on the cards as decoration and instead begin using them as another doorway into the meaning. Now, over the years, after hundreds upon hundreds of online readings, I have realized just how practical this approach really is. I made my readings clearer, faster, more structured. Now, instead of trying to memorize 78 completely separate cards, I began recognizing recurring patterns. And once again, you begin seeing these patterns, your confidence as a reader naturally grows. And to that end, this series is right. Now, before we begin working with the cards, I'd like you to pause the video if you haven't already done this. Now, open the worksheet which is attached to this lesson. Now spread your entire deck. Yes, this is more of an actionable video sessions in the passive listening. Now place all aces together, then all twos, then all threes, and then continue all the way up to 10. Now once you have done that, gather together all your pages, all your knights, all your queens, and finally your kings. Just let your eyes travel across the spread. Here you have find the spreadsheet, how it would look like, right? This is for your easy reference. Now don't analyze, don't memorize, simply observe. Now, for the first time, you are no longer looking at 78 individual cards. You're looking at families. You're looking at patterns and you're looking at progressions. And that visual exercise, my lovelies, alone teaches you far more than reading 20 pages of any guidebook. Now, let's begin to understand why. Now, every number carries an underlying quality. Now, think of it as, I would say, a recurring theme. Now, whenever that number appears, irrespective of the suit, that is something that we cover in the next lesson, that theme quietly accompanies it. Now, here are the keywords I personally work with, right? Um now, for the aces, let's say, an ace speaks about beginnings, an opportunity, a potential. The two introduces relationship, balance, choice, and duality. The three brings growth, collaboration, and expansion. Four creates structure, stability, and foundations. The five disturbs, that is stability. It introduces movement, change, challenge, chaos, confusion, right? A sense of conflict. Now, six restores that harmony, that cooperation, and that recovery. Now, seven asks us to pause, to reflect, to assess, and to rethink, right? The seven of swords, remember? The eight speaks of mastery, momentum, and purposeful action, as in the eight of wands. The nine suggests fulfillment, maturity, and nearing completion. The nine of cups, the wish card. And the 10 closes one cycle while quietly preparing for the next, be it the 10 of wands or the 10 of swords. Now, don't worry, you don't have to remember all of these today, right? Now, that's exactly what I have created the worksheet for. So, you keep it beside your deck, and with practice, you practice these keywords, and so that it becomes your second nature. Allow me to show you by way of example, and let's see how beautifully this works with a familiar card. Now, the familiar card, you remember, a collective stranger, the High Priestess. Now, as readers, we immediately think intuition, mastery, hidden knowledge, and all of that is true. But before we read the symbolism, let us honor the number. You know, this High Priestess's card, two of the major arcana. Now, bring in the keywords. The keywords, as I just mentioned, if you were listening closely, duality, balance, reflection, relationship, right? Choice, yes, of course, choice. Now, suddenly the artwork begins making even more sense, two pillars, light and shadow, conscious and subconsciousness, right? Outer wisdom and inner knowing. The image is reinforcing what the number has already introduced. Now, the number gives us the framework and the picture fills in the details. Now, this is exactly how the experienced tarot readers who have been reading for a certain amount of time, they build in interpretations. And this comes easy and naturally, right? You don't have to rack your brains or fret about it at this point in time, but just keep at it, right? Now, one layer supporting another. Now, let's leave the major arcana. Let's leave the major arcana for a moment and move into the minor arcana. To give you an example, again, lay all the four twos together in front of you, right? You can see that in the grid here. The two of wands, the two of cups, the two of swords, and the two of pentacles. Now, notice something remarkable. The situations are completely different. The emotions are different. The stories are also different. Yet, every single card carries the same underlying rhythm. Something is being weighed, balanced, considered, and chosen, right? Does it resonate? The suit changes where that story unfolds. The number tells you how the story is unfolding. Now, that distinction is incredibly important. And in our very next lesson, as I just mentioned, that when we study the suits and the elements, we will see just how naturally these two systems begin working together. Now, again, bring out all the fives from your decks: the five of wands, the five of cups, the five of swords, and the five of pentacles. Now, again, look at the grid here to make it easier and accessible for you if you don't have the deck as of now. So, you see four different stories, but one common thread, and that is disruption. Something has been disturbed in the stability, that the four had earlier established. Now, whether that disruption appears as a competition, a loss, a conflict, or a financial hardship, it depends entirely upon the suit. The number provides the foundation, and the suit provides the context. The artwork provides that story, and together they create the reading. Now, let's again, to go on with the examples of sorts, jump to the tens. Many beginners assume 10 simply means more than 9. Will that be fair to say? Yes, of course. But actually, 10 is completion, a cycle reaching its natural conclusion. But here is something even more beautiful. 10 also carries 1 within it, 1 and 0. So every ending quietly contains the seed of another beginning. That's why tens often feel complete, yet never final. Life does not stop, it simply begins with another chapter. Now let's look at the quote cards. And here the story begins to get interesting. Now, instead of the numbers, the quote card carry the ranks. And the rank tells us about function. And what is it that you may ask? A page learns, a knight acts, a queen internalizes and matures, and a king leads through experiences and mastery. Now combine that with the suit. A page of cups becomes someone who is learning emotional intelligence. A knight of cups pursues emotions, relationships of creative ideals. And a queen of cups embodies emotional maturity. A king of cups leads with compassion, wisdom, and balance. Now, again, one layer building on another. Now, there is this one final idea I'd like to leave you with. Whenever you see a double digit major arcana card, don't stop at the printed number, reduce it. That is one way. Now, here, temperance is 14, right? 1 plus 4 becomes 5. Now, 5 brings movement, adjustment, and change into the conversation. Not instead of temperance, but alongside it. Reduction doesn't replace the meaning, it expands the meaning. Now, another way that works for me, instead of reducing it immediately, I also look at the two digits, 1 and 4, individually. Now, 1, a beginning, 4, a structure. Now, imagine these two ideas trying to coexist. A new beginning looking for stability. Can you see how the same card suddenly starts opening up in multiple directions? Now, you may treat it as another lens through which to understand the card. Now, before we finish, let me share one small insight from my own reading. Now, one of the most common question I receive is when? When will I get the job? When will I hear from my ex? When will I meet someone new? Now, this is where the numbers quietly become incredibly valuable. Now, going back to the previous example, suppose I draw the two of wands. Now, the number tells me we are still in the early stages of the journey. The suit of wands being associated with the element of fire, it tends to move relatively quickly. That may suggest movement over days, if not weeks. Now, imagine instead of the two of wands, I draw the two of pentacles. The number is a still 2. We are still in the early stage, but the pentacle belongs to the element earth. Earth develops slowly, steadily, patiently. Now my timeline naturally stretches, perhaps weeks becoming months, if not years. Do you see what happened? I did not change the number. We changed the element. The element got changed, right? And suddenly the timing shifted. Now, this is never a rigid formula. It is more of a clue, one more layer, one more piece of the puzzle, and because timing deserves an entire lesson of its own, we will explore that in much more detail in the later part of the series. Now, before we close, your assignment for the step 5, and that is very, very important. I've already attached links herein and as well as in the description for easy downloads. First, arrange your deck exactly as per shown. Now, spend a few quiet minutes simply observing the patterns. Now, second, write down one or two keywords that genuinely resonate with you for every number from ace to 10. You don't feel compelled to borrow mine. Build a language that feels authentic to you. Third, write one defining quality for each quote card rank: page, knight, queen, king. Fourth, compare all the aces, the twos, and the threes, and so on and so forth. Now ask yourself, what remains constant because of the number and what changes because of the suit? Now finally choose 3 double-digit major arcana cards and reduce them to single digit. Notice how the reduced numbers add another layer without reducing the original meaning or replacing it. Now take your time with these exercises. Don't rush through them. As you draw the cards, say the name of your card and one or more keyword based on the number or the rank. Select the keywords that in your opinion relate best to the given number or the rank. To give you an example, I have drawn the Four of Wands. The fours are about foundations and stability. I drew the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is about nurturing and support. Now, this is the kind of practice that gradually transforms information into intuition. Now, if today's lesson gave you a fresh way of looking at tarot, I genuinely love to hear from you. Did any pattern surprise you once you spread the deck? Leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Your questions may end up helping another learner in a growing community. And if you have just discovered this series through today's lessons, you're welcome, my lovely. Every episode is designed to stand on its own, but I strongly recommend beginning with step 0 here whenever you have time. It will give you the complete framework and make every lesson that follows even more meaningful. Now, here is an interesting bit. In our next step, we will build on today's foundation by exploring the suits and the elements. You guessed it right. The second half of this invisible framework that quietly shapes every tarot reading. Until then, keep your cards close. Keep your journey open, and most importantly, keep building your own relationship with your stranger of your own choosing, beyond the symbols into the soul. See you in the next video. Love and light, Chandra. Mwah.